if you really like flowcharts and you've always wanted to be able to make them and produce them without having to deal with the tedious aspects of manipulating like the little boxes, dragging them around, going through all the hours of that work, and you feel like it'd be just amazing if AI could do it for you, well, today's the day you can do that. And in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how to do that. And what do we do? So let's say you're on your Chat GPT home screen. I'm not sure if you can install plugins in Chat GPT without the $20 a month subscription. You may be able to. Somebody in the comment section tell me, but I've got the $20 a month subscription. I go up here. By default, I'm on the browsing and analysis. I'll click plugins. Mine's already got the AI diagrams installed, but I'm showing you exactly how you can install it as well. Click plugin store on that drop down. Then in search plugins, you're going to type in AI diagrams, and you're going to get a couple of different examples. I'm using Whimsical's AI diagrams. You'll just click the install button. If you want to check to make sure you're not just using like a fake or a scam plugin, kind of like that. I don't know if that really happens on ChatGPT yet, but it sure as heck happens in the Google Play Store. You can check it out, make sure it's Whimsical. This is the actual Whimsical website. They're a pretty popular program, just like FigJam or Mirrorboard if you've used those. So I trust it. I installed it. And then once you have the plugin installed, you can, let's just hit the plugins on the drop down. Then I don't know if you can have, yeah, you can. You can have both plugins happening at the same time, which I've had before, and sometimes gets annoying because it'll think you want code when you just want a flowchart. So make sure you don't have those both checked, or you don't have like multiple plugins that could conflict or be annoying if they're both on at the same time. So then you got AI diagrams. And instead of wasting you guys' time watching, sometimes it takes like 10 seconds, 15 seconds for it to create your flowchart, depending on how complicated it could be. I'm just going to go ahead and take you guys directly to one of my most recent prompts on this that I used to create for a client to be able to explain exactly how to do this. And it took 3 prompts to create the flowchart that I wanted. It a lot of times will start out kind of basic, but the more detail you give it for what kind of flowchart you want, as well as the content of the flowchart. So what do I mean? I mean, like, if you have parameters already defined for how you want your flowcharts to look in terms of shape and detail, you can give it that, as well as the more detail you give it in terms of the content of the flowchart. Like in this case, it could be a step-by-step plan of what does the process look like. The more detail you can give it that, the better flowchart you're going to get. So we started out really basic. I just said I want a flowchart, basically using Sales Navigator to create the list, and then using outreach messaging to start the process using LinkedIn. And then when you scroll down, you get this basic flowchart, which is like start, create a list, Sales Navigator, sending messages, and then getting responses. It's very basic. That's not what I want. So what did I do? I had already had like a Google Doc process summary that's like 8 steps, had like an image, but the image wasn't even useful for the flowchart in this case. And then it's pretty detailed of like, you know, monitoring for potential adjustments and then feeding those potential adjustments back into the campaign to improve it. And basically has a little bit of contingencies, very detailed. So what happens? I gave it that, it analyzed what I had and then fed it back to me in a more concise way, because I just kind of free typed that Google Doc, and it did a great job analyzing the process summary that I made. And then it then I had to still tell it, I was like, hey, yes, I like what you did, basically, and now generate that flowchart. And what you'll see is it did a little better, but it did not do exactly what I wanted. So it just gave us a little bit more refinement of steps, but still very basic, and I don't feel like it took into account the idea of the contingency of feeding back analysis into the start of the campaign and improving it. So what did I do? I asked ChatGPT to review and determine the improvements and create an improved version of the flowchart. This is very important, and a lot of people miss this, where they just don't ask ChatGPT to determine improvements and then create improved versions. So I highly recommend this. And then sometimes, depending on the complexity of your flowchart or whatever you're asking it to do, a lot of times you want to ask it to do this review and determine improvements in one step, and then ask it to confirm those improvements with you first. And then once you confirm that the improvements are what you want, you can ask it to create an improved version of the flowchart. So that's what happened. It said we should add decision points, highlight iteration, clarify monitoring adjustment, which is really what I wanted. And then at first, it generated this like in the form of code, or not code, maybe? I don't know, but looks like some code. And then it rendered the improved flowchart, and it did a great job on this particular spot. And then we can keep refining this as well, but I feel like it did a really good job because when ultimately before we just had this left side happening, but now we have a good little contingency where when we analyze the campaign, if adjustment is needed, no, we continue when we say is feedback positive, yes, and we're good. We can, if it's positive feedback, we can still improve it, but let's say yes, we need to adjust the campaign strategy before we even look at whether the feedback is positive. Like if we were not even getting results, like no connections are happening, no one's responding, then we could feed this back into the outreach campaign itself, like the messaging and the initial side, or we could feed it back all the way to the start of defining audience targeting and parameters. And if somebody just followed this, it's kind of basic, but it would give them a much better visual idea of what needs to happen for this process. So this is just something for outreach processing. You can use it for all kinds of things, down to like planning your goals, how to create content, like what does that look like, and getting to like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. All that can be done with this. And I really like visual charts, but I personally do not like spending hours creating them, and that's what a lot of times this turns into. And it doesn't even feel like it's useful time, because a lot of times you're just extending an arrow and making an arrow look good. And I can be quite the perfectionist about these flowcharts, and that can get annoying because I'm just spending too much time perfecting them rather than the actual substance of what they are. So in conclusion, what do you need to do? Go to the Chat GPT plugin store, get AI diagrams, it's free, and then start creating your flowcharts, and understand that on the first flowchart that it generates, it may not be perfect. You're going to have to give it refinement prompts to get it to where you want it to be. And then last, the more detail you give it both on how you like your flowcharts, if you can give it examples and parameters to follow, as well as the content, the more detailed in the content and the steps that you've already created in a written plan, ideally, the more likely it is to be able to generate what you want accurately. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, slap a like, hit subscribe if you'd like to, and stay tuned for next videos and any content ideas you guys want us to go over in the for upcoming videos. Please leave those ideas in the comment section below. But that's it for today. Have a wonderful day. Peace.